There is a level of strength so rare, so silent and so deeply rooted that most people will never even come close to touching it. It's not the kind of strength you see on the surface. It's not the loud, aggressive or performative type that disappears the moment life hits back. This strength is something different, something colder, something calmer, something almost frightening. It's the level of strength Miyamoto Musashi carried into every duel, every decision and every breath of his 61 undefeated battles. A level of strength that didn't depend on motivation or mood or the environment around him. A strength that existed even when he was tired, outnumbered, and standing on the edge between life and death. This is the strength you're here to understand today, the scariest level of mental and physical strength that a human being can reach. The system Musashi followed, not just to win duels, but to dominate his own fear, his impulses, and the chaos of the world around him. Subscribe if you walk this path too, because to understand Musashi's system, you must first understand this. The real battle is never with opponents, challenges, or enemies. The real battle is with the mind that collapses when pressure rises. Musashi understood this from a young age. By the time most people were still figuring out who they were, Musashi was already walking alone through forests and mountains, sharpening his mind more than his sword, studying not just strategy but human nature. He wasn't training to be strong. He wasn't training to be skilled. He was training to be unbreakable. Imagine this. A cold morning fog covers a narrow mountain pass. Musashi walks alone. No footsteps beside him, no teacher guiding him, no companions to distract him. Just silence, wind, and the weight of his own thoughts. But he doesn't resist that silence. He doesn't run from it. He walks deeper into it because he understood something most people avoid their entire lives. In silence, your true self is revealed. This is where Musashi's secret system begins, not with techniques, not with weapons, not with physical training, but with the simple, difficult discipline of confronting your own mind without escape. In the modern world, our escapes are everywhere. Notifications, entertainment, distractions, noise. We carry entire worlds of avoidance in our pockets. The moment we feel an uncomfortable emotion, stress, fear, boredom, frustration, we run. We scroll, we numb, we avoid. And every time we avoid discomfort, we weaken the mind just a little more. Musashi went the opposite direction. If the mind wanted comfort, he gave it discomfort. If it wanted escape, he gave it stillness. If it wanted certainty, he gave it chaos. If it wanted rest, he gave it responsibility. And over time, the mind stopped complaining. It stopped resisting. It stopped negotiating. It obeyed. That is the scariest level of strength. When your mind becomes something you can command, not something you constantly fight against. This didn't come from force. It didn't come from brutal self-punishment. It came from presence, a deep, unwavering attention to reality as it is, not as he wished it to be. When he trained with full presence. When he ate with full presence. When he walked with full presence. And when he faced death, he faced it with full presence. Presence is not passive. Presence is power. It sharpens the senses. It stabilizes the emotions. It anchors the mind. It makes you dangerous without ever needing to be aggressive. That's what people felt around Musashi. A calm intensity, a quiet danger, a presence that said, I cannot be moved. You've probably met someone like this before. A person who doesn't have to speak loudly or boast. They don't need to explain themselves. They don't even need to react. Their silence alone carries weight. Their calmness unsettles the insecure. Their consistency intimidates the undisciplined. That is the energy Musashi mastered. And the truth is, anyone can develop it, but only if they're willing to face the same thing he faced, themselves. In today's world, we chase confidence instead of building it. We chase motivation instead of training discipline. We chase shortcuts instead of cultivating resilience. We want the outcome without the transformation. Musashi understood that true strength comes only from confrontation, from meeting the very parts of yourself you've been avoiding, your fear, your doubt, your laziness, your anger, your impatience, your excuses. Musashi didn't try to control these emotions. He didn't try to think positive or suppress them. He simply observed them with absolute honesty. Modern psychology says the same thing. Awareness dissolves resistance. When you meet your emotions with presence, without judgment, without excuses, they lose their power over you. Musashi discovered this centuries before science explained it. He walked deeper into his fear until it became clarity. He walked deeper into discomfort until it became strength. He walked deeper into discipline until it became freedom. And this is why his system was terrifying. Not because it made him stronger than others, but because it made him stronger than himself. Every battle he fought was already won before he stepped onto the field, because he had already defeated the part of his mind that panics, hesitates, or breaks under pressure. His enemies were fighting him. Musashi was fighting reality itself and accepting it fully. That is the level of strength we will explore today. But before we go deeper, I want you to reflect on something. When was the last time you sat alone, without noise, without stimulation, and simply watched your own mind? When was the last time you allowed yourself to feel discomfort without immediately reaching for escape? When was the last time you acted from discipline instead of mood? Because this journey, Musashi's journey, begins with a single uncomfortable truth. Most of your limitations do not come from the world. They come from the mind you refuse to train. And Musashi's system begins by training the mind first, and the body second. We are only at the beginning. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to the Zen Warrior. Be calm, be strong, be present. Musashi understood something most people never learn. The body is only as strong as the mind that commands it. But the mind is only as strong as the spirit that guides it. This is where his secret system truly begins to reveal itself. Not in the sword, not in the technique, but in the relationship between mind and action, between intention and movement, between who you believe you are and who you choose to become. Imagine Musashi standing in a clearing at dusk. The air is cool, the light fading, the world quiet. He draws his wooden sword, not to fight an enemy, but to confront something far more dangerous. The part of himself that wants to stay comfortable. The part that wants to take it easy. The part that whispers, "Not today." Every warrior, every person, every one of us has that voice. But Musashi didn't negotiate with that voice. He trained through it. This is the second layer of his system. Relentless commitment to action, even when the mind resists. Modern psychology calls this behavioral activation. Zen calls it right action. Musashi simply lived it. He knew that the greatest enemy of strength is hesitation. Hesitation grows into fear. Fear grows into avoidance. Avoidance grows into weakness. So Musashi built the habit of immediate action, not rushed, not reckless, but decisive, like a blade cutting through fog. When it was time to train, he trained. When it was time to fight, he fought. When it was time to move on, he moved on. He didn't wait for the perfect moment, he created the moment. This is where modern people struggle. We drown in options, distractions, and overthinking. We analyze instead of acting. We plan instead of starting. We tell ourselves we're not ready, not realizing that readiness comes after action, not before. Musashi understood this long before self-help existed. He wrote, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." Meaning, there is no perfect path. There is only the path you walk with discipline. And so Musashi walked. He traveled across Japan with almost nothing, challenging the greatest fighters, learning from every encounter, and refining his system step by step, not by thinking, but by doing. His strength grew because he put himself in situations where hesitation would cost him his life. Today, hesitation costs us something different. Our potential. We don't lose duels, we lose days. We don't face swords, we face distractions. We don't battle warriors, we battle our own comfort. And yet the principle is the same. You either move with purpose, or you slowly weaken. But Musashi's strength wasn't just physical or mental. There is a third layer to his system, one that most people overlook. A layer that made him not just powerful, but untouchable. It was his relationship with emptiness. In Zen, emptiness is not a void. It is not nothingness. It is clarity. A mind free of noise, ego, and inner conflict. A mind that responds to life with precision instead of panic. Musashi trained this through Mushin, the state of no mind. Modern neuroscience calls it flow state. It's that rare moment when thought disappears, awareness sharpens, and action becomes effortless. Athletes experience it. Artists experience it. Warriors experience it. But Musashi lived in it. He didn't enter Mushin temporarily. He trained to remain there, even in conflict, even under pressure, even facing death. To do that, he stripped away everything unnecessary. He minimized his possessions. He traveled lightly. He slept simply. He disconnected from vanity, status, and distraction. He refused to build his identity on the opinions of others. This is where Musashi becomes intimidating, even in a modern context, because a person who doesn't need much cannot be controlled. A person who doesn't crave validation cannot be manipulated. A person who embraces solitude cannot be broken. Musashi wasn't trying to be fearless. He was removing everything that weakens fearlessness. That is the third layer of his system. Emptiness creates freedom. Freedom creates presence. Presence creates mastery. And mastery creates a level of strength that others might find frightening. Think about your own life. How much of your energy is wasted on things that don't matter? On fears that exist only in your mind? On distractions that numb your potential? On comparisons that poison your spirit? Musashi removed these weights so he could walk lightly, see clearly, and act decisively. That's the essence of his strength. Not muscle, not aggression, not raw talent, clarity, discipline, presence, and a deep, unwavering commitment to truth. The truth within himself. Musashi believed that a warrior who cannot face his own truth will crumble the moment reality hits him. That's why he walked alone, trained alone, reflected alone. Not because he hated people, but because he understood that solitude is a forge. It burns away the unnecessary. It shapes the essential. It reveals who you really are. And once you know who you are, you become unstoppable. This is the real terror of Musashi's system. He wasn't strong because he sought strength. He was strong because he removed everything that made him weak. No ego, no excuses, no noise, no avoidance, just presence and purpose. You feel it when you read the Book of Five Rings. You feel it when you study his story. You feel it in the silence between his words, a silence that carries more weight than most people's entire lives. This is the level of strength we're moving toward, but we're still not at the core yet, because Musashi's system has a fourth layer, a principle so deep, so fierce, and so transformative that it becomes the foundation of his entire philosophy. At the heart of Musashi's philosophy lies a principle so profound that most people misunderstand it. They think it's about violence, or dominance, or strategy. But what Musashi discovered was far deeper, almost spiritual in its simplicity. He learned that the ultimate strength comes from alignment, when your mind, body, and intention move as one, when there is no conflict between what you know, what you feel, and what you do. When your inner world is so unified that nothing outside can shake it. This is the fourth layer of Musashi's system, the unification of thought and action. To understand this, imagine standing in front of a river. The current is strong, the water cold. Most people hesitate. They stand on the shore doubting themselves, questioning everything. Is this safe? What if I fail? Maybe tomorrow. I'm not ready. The moment the mind hesitates, the body freezes. The moment the body freezes, fear grows roots, and within seconds, the river has defeated you without even touching you. This is how most people live their entire lives. Not defeated by real obstacles, but by inner hesitation. Musashi eliminated this gap. He practiced acting the moment intention formed. No lag, no overthinking, no internal argument. This doesn't mean recklessness. It means your decisions come from clarity, and clarity requires alignment. Modern psychology proves it. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions contradict each other, the brain enters cognitive dissonance, a state of inner conflict that drains energy, increases anxiety, and weakens discipline. But when they align, energy flows freely. Your mind becomes sharp, your body becomes responsive, your spirit becomes steady. Musashi didn't need motivation. He had alignment. When he chose a path, he walked it. When he trained, he committed fully. When he fought with everything. When he left a place, he didn't look back. Most people today carry 1,000 half decisions. They say they want discipline, but feed their distractions. They say they want confidence, but live in avoidance. They say they want strength, but protect their weaknesses. They say they want change, but cling to old habits like armor. This internal split is why we feel lost, why we feel tired, why we feel stuck. Musashi realized that the world is not exhausting. Being divided against yourself so he built a system that forced internal unity. He simplified his life until every choice supported his path. He trained until instinct replaced hesitation. He reflected until his intentions became pure. He lived so honestly that he had nothing to hide from himself. Imagine what your life would feel like if you lived that way. If every action moved you forward, if every decision aligned with your purpose, if every choice sharpened instead of scattered your strength, you would move differently, speak differently, carry yourself differently. People would feel something around you, the same thing people felt around Musashi: consistency, clarity, conviction, a quiet, grounded intensity, not loud, not dramatic, just undeniable. This is the kind of strength that intimidates others without you ever needing to raise your voice. It's the strength that makes you reliable, respected, centered. The kind that allows you to face chaos without collapsing. The kind that allows you to stand your ground even when life becomes difficult. But Musashi knew alignment alone wasn't enough, because life is unpredictable. Plans fail, conditions change, people disappoint you. Reality doesn't always move the way you want it to. So he developed the next part of his system, perhaps the most misunderstood part of all: adaptability. Musashi wasn't rigid. He wasn't bound to a single technique, style, rule, or belief. He believed that the moment your mind becomes fixed, you lose. He wrote, "You must remain fluid, shifting with the changing world." This is why he mastered not one sword but two, why he studied the ways of farmers, monks, generals, craftsmen, and artists, why he became a painter, philosopher, strategist, writer, and sculptor, why he trained not just his body but his perception. Adaptability wasn't optional, it was survival. To Musashi, rigidity equals death. Physically, mentally, spiritually, the modern world punishes rigidity too. When you cling to a single identity, a single method, a single comfort zone, life will eventually force you to face something you're unprepared for. Musashi's strength came from being prepared for anything, because his mind flowed like water, flexible, calm, responsive, aware, not passive, adaptable. This adaptability gave him something extremely rare: the ability to stay composed under pressure, unshaken in chaos, unbroken in uncertainty. Today, that is one of the rarest strengths a person can have. In a world full of overstimulation and emotional fragility, the person who remains steady becomes a lighthouse. And that's what Musashi was, a lighthouse of presence, the kind of presence that makes other men hesitate, the kind of presence that quiets a room, the kind of presence that is earned only through discipline, solitude, and deep self-understanding. But Musashi's system doesn't end there. There is a final layer, the one that elevates his strength from impressive to legendary, a layer that merges philosophy and combat, presence and power, calmness and ferocity, a layer that defines what true mastery really is. And when we enter that layer, Musashi's entire life begins to make sense. To understand the final layer of Musashi's system, you must imagine the silence before a duel. Two men face each other. The world narrows. The air thickens. Every sound disappears except the breath moving in and out of their lungs. In that moment, physical strength doesn't matter. Speed doesn't matter. Technique doesn't matter. Even fear doesn't matter. There is only one thing that decides the outcome: your relationship with death. This was the core of Musashi's strength, the principle that elevated him beyond every opponent, every obstacle, every limitation. He didn't seek death. He didn't romanticize it. But he accepted it so fully, so deeply, so completely, that it lost all power over him. Musashi understood that death is not merely the end of life, it is the end of hesitation, the end of fear, the end of illusion, the end of everything that keeps you from acting with total commitment. A man who fears death holds back. His strikes are hesitant, his spirit fractures, his timing weakens, his decisions wobble. But a man who has already accepted death is completely free. That freedom, that terrifying freedom, is what gave Musashi the scariest level of mental and physical strength. He fought with complete abandonment of fear. He trained with complete surrender to the path. He lived with complete clarity about what actually matters. You don't need to face real death to understand this. Modern life has its own versions of the same fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of starting, fear of change, fear of being seen trying. These are the deaths we avoid every day. And every time you avoid one, your spirit weakens. Just a little. Musashi didn't just defeat the fear of physical death. He defeated every smaller death that keeps people trapped. The death of pride, the death of certainty, the death of ego, the death of comfort. He let all of these go, and what remained was pure strength. When you no longer fear loss, you become bold. When you no longer fear failure, you become unstoppable. When you no longer fear discomfort, you become disciplined. When you no longer fear judgment, you become authentic. This is the final layer of Musashi's system. Freedom from fear through radical acceptance. Think about your own life. How many dreams have you delayed because you feared someone's opinion? How many actions have you postponed because you wanted conditions to be perfect? How many times have you started something only to stop the moment it became uncomfortable? These are the chains Musashi broke, and once he broke them, something extraordinary happened. His body, mind, and spirit operated as a single force. There was no part of him pulling backward, no part doubting, no part hesitating, no part negotiating. He entered every duel with one intention: give everything, hold nothing back. That is why he won. Because the moment your spirit fractures, even slightly, you've already lost. Most people today lose long before they begin. They lose in their mind, in their emotions, in their stories, in their excuses, in their inner hesitation. Musashi didn't have those fractures. He unified every part of himself into a single direction. This is why people feared him. Not because he was violent, not because he was unbeatable, but because he embodied something extremely rare. Total inner alignment, a mind that didn't panic, a body that didn't tense, a spirit that didn't waver, a purpose that didn't bend. This is what real strength looks like. Not loud, not aggressive, not dramatic, silent, grounded, unshakable. The strength of a man who has made peace with himself. The strength of a man who does not run from reality, who does not negotiate with discipline, who does not compromise with fear, who does not betray his own soul. That is the scariest level of strength, because it cannot be taken away. You can remove the weapon, remove the comfort, remove the support, remove the advantages, remove everything a normal person depends on, but you cannot remove his presence. Musashi understood that true mastery was not about defeating enemies. It was about defeating everything inside you that makes you your own enemy. He wasn't chasing immortality. He was chasing integrity. He wasn't chasing victory. He was chasing truth. He wasn't chasing strength. He was building character. This is why his legacy has lasted centuries, not because he won duels. Many men won duels, but because he discovered a system for becoming unbreakable in a world that constantly tries to break you. And that system wasn't written in books, it wasn't taught in schools, it wasn't handed down from masters. It was carved from solitude, discipline, hardship, and deep inner reflection. A system built on presence, adaptability, alignment, and acceptance. A system that transforms fear into clarity, hesitation into decisiveness, chaos into focus. A system that makes you strong in a way that cannot be performed or faked. Because true strength is not about dominance over others, it's about mastery over yourself. This is the path. The path Musashi walked alone. The path few dare to walk today. The path you are choosing simply by listening. Remember this: strength built on ego collapses. Strength built on emotion wavers. Strength built on comfort dissolves. Strength built on validation fades. But strength built on presence remains. Strength built on discipline multiplies. Strength built on truth endures. Strength built on acceptance becomes unbreakable. This is the scariest level of mental and physical strength. Calm, quiet, centered, fearless, free, and it is available to you the moment you stop running from the parts of yourself that Musashi walked toward. Your journey doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts when you decide. Enough. Enough hesitation, enough excuses, enough fear, enough waiting, enough shrinking. Walk forward, step into your path, train your mind, strengthen your spirit, unify your actions, let go of your fear. Live with intention, live with discipline, live with presence. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more warriors of quiet strength. It needs more people like you. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to the Zen Warrior. Be calm. Be strong, Be present.